Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw here at ILTM Con, and we're here with two great executives from IHG, Tom Roundtree and Jane Mackey. And we're going to talk about, they just had a press conference this just a few hours ago, actually, and amazing things going on with IHG, and you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, first of all, let's delineate what are the kind of luxury and lifestyle brands that you have within the IHG family today?
We have multiple brands. Obviously, our signature brand, Intercontinental, at the core. We also have Six Senses, Regent, Kimpton, and Hotel Indigo. And recently, a year ago at ILTM in 2021, we launched our Vignette collection.
Right. Well, we're going to talk about that, but I think the news here in Cannes is the Carlton. In fact, I ran into you. You were getting a hard hat tour with both of you guys of the Continental. I want to get over there one of these days. I'm not going to have time, but it is just everybody's waiting for the Carlton to open, and now it looks like about April, May, right?
Yes, it will open in the spring, and we will get it operationally perfect in time for the Cannes Film Festival in May.
But one of the things here is that you really are sort of reviving the Regent brand, which you acquired, I think, in 2018, right, Tom?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So first of all, I have to say, I think we were rocking those hard hats when we saw you on the Croisette a little earlier. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We acquired the brand in 2018, really to take the brand from its DNA of innovation it really has from going back to the 70s and building that for the future. And that's really what we've been doing. And that's what you'll see when the Carlton Cannes opens up as a Regent Hotel, as Jane said, in the spring.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know the history of the Regent brand from Hong Kong, and you have that hotel now, and you're renovating, I believe. But how many Regents do you have now?
That's great. So we actually have 8 Regents open currently, and actually we'll be opening 4 next year. And as you quite rightly said, the iconic Regent Hong Kong, which is on the shores of Victoria Harbour, the most spectacular views over to Hong Kong Central. That will be opening up this winter, so very, very, very soon. Carlton Cannes, as you mentioned, will be a Regent Hotel. Bali will be opening, and literally just last week we announced our second Regent in Shanghai, Regent Shanghai on the Bund.
Now, the Carlton, someone asked at the press conference, why did you turn, because it was the Intercontinental Carlton, why did you decide should be really more better in the Regent side of the brand?
Yeah, I think a number of reasons, and I think that when your viewers come to the Carlton Cannes and see it, they'll understand completely the reasons why. So a number of different reasons. First of all, the level of investment that's going into the hotel is really elevating it into that upper luxury positioning. But if we also think about what the French Riviera stands for and what Carlton stands for, it really is one of the capitals of luxury. So for us to have an iconic Regent Hotel here in Cannes makes absolute sense.
Absolutely. Well, I always think of the Carlton as the hotel in a movie, It Takes a Thief, with Alfred Hitchcock, and Cary Grant walks out of the water, and they pan up, and there's the Carlton, and it's still there, and it looks beautiful. I got to tell you, the property, and I understand the interiors even more. You guys saw it. Jane, talk a little bit about some of the other brands. You have the Vignette brand. Talk about what that is, and that you launched that fairly recently, right?
We did. We launched it a year ago. We are now up to 14 hotels, between the 3 that are owned, 11 in the pipeline. And Vignette Collection enables us to bring in luxury hotels that all have their own individual identity, but united under the IHG One Rewards loyalty program, and really complementing the any IHG offering in any given city. So an example is we just opened in Porto last week, and in Porto we also already have a beautiful Intercontinental hotel for people who love that Intercontinental flavor and luxury and the hallmarks. And Casa da Campania is just a few minutes walk away, but a former merchant's home, wealthy merchant's home.
So these are hotels that are independently owned but want to be part of the IHG family, which is similar to some other brands are doing it, but you're finding properties that want to have that association with IHG.
They do, and they also want to retain their individual identities and their individual names that are often have an emotional connection to the location or to the people who own those hotels. They have family history there. But it's a new avenue for our IHG guests, our One Rewards members, to really enjoy travel in a different way. So we have multiple offerings in any given city.
Well, then another lifestyle hotel that we all know that's been expanding like crazy and beautiful properties around the world is Kimpton.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about the Kimpton brand and how you're expanding that.
So Kimpton is a brand that really invented, Bill Kimpton back in the early 80s invented that boutique hotel sector. And IHG was able to acquire the Kimpton brand and again take that boutique concept where there are some standard things that flow through the Kimpton, ridiculously personalized service and the wine hour and all of the fun elements of Kimpton, but again, take that boutique mentality internationally. And we're really excited. In the last few years alone, we've opened London, Paris, Edinburgh, Tokyo, Bangkok, Mallorca recently, and many others where we're able to bring luxury, but with a different point of view, similar to Vignette Collection, which are highly independent, Kimpton, which have a different point of view, although a bit more brand-centric, into these locations.
Absolutely, and even in the U.S., you're opening up all around. I mean, some wonderful properties. And just as a sidelight, during COVID, early on in COVID, I hid away in the Kimpton Vero Beach for about 4 nights, and I kept saying, "Can we stay one more night?" And it was perfect. It was beautiful right on the beach, and we know all the Kimptons. Obviously, there's some in New York. Wonderful properties and great lifestyle. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Intercontinental, the classic brand too. So what's going on with that brand now? Now it's not an Intercontinental Carlton anymore. You got to find some other place to put that brand. Right?
Intercontinental, what a sensational brand it is. As you know, we've just celebrated our 75th anniversary, and whilst we're doing that, we've been signing and opening new hotels. So we actually have 208 hotels open around the world. Right. The world's largest luxury hotel brand. 83 hotels in the pipeline, and just a couple of highlights. We opened a fabulous Intercontinental in a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Thailand, Khao Yai. That was just several months ago. It's an incredible place designed by Bill Bensley. We will be opening Intercontinental Rome Ambasciatori Palace will be opening up next year, so some sensational things happening with Intercontinental.
So you're not stopping growth with Intercon, no?
We're not stopping growth, and we're also looking to the future. So really got our eye on our centenary, and we've been doing a lot of consumer research this year to look at a refresh for Intercontinental, so more to come on that.
Now, one of the other things is you've been one of the few chains that really hadn't gotten into the all-inclusive market. And you just, the big news was you forged an alliance, a partnership with Iberostar. Tell us a little bit about what that was all about.
Yes, when we looked across our portfolio, we realized that our customers wanted more beach resorts and that we also didn't have an all-inclusive offering. And through a long-term arrangement, alliance that we've just signed with Iberostar, a wonderful family-owned company, we will be bringing in 70 beachfront resorts.
They have a few.
24,000 rooms. Into the IHG system. They will be participating in the IHG One Reward system. They are co-presenting with us here at ILTM, and again bringing in something that we didn't have. And as with other brands such as Six Senses and Kimpton, still retaining the DNA that makes them proud and a very important brand and company in and of their own right.
And also, they've been very focused in the whole sustainability movement. We're actually going to hopefully talk to them as well. And I've talked to the two sisters who run the company, and they are. I mean, sometimes I'm saying, are you running a hotel company or sustainability? Because they're so focused on it, the oceans, save the oceans, everything else. But talk about the importance of that to IHG.
Yes, well, IHG launched our Journey to Tomorrow, which is our science-based initiative to create more sustainable travel by 2030. Right. And it relates to water, waste, and energy, of course, but also being a more inclusive environment and improving the lives of 30 million people in our communities. So very ambitious goals, but we're always learning. We learned a lot with the acquisition of Six Senses and their commitment and philosophy and approach to sustainability, and we're already learning a lot with Iberostar and sharing ideas. But you're correct, Iberostar is not just working towards sustainable travel, but actually creating labs for things such as coral and how to regrow the coral reef in their Mexican resorts, as an example. And guests can participate in that and see the actual coral labs.
I was there at the coral lab down in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. It was amazing to watch and see what they're trying to do. And I've seen that a lot. I was down in Florida once and saw that kind of coral growing. And you just mentioned another brand you have that's in this kind of category, Six Senses, right?
We do. We acquired the Six Senses brand in 2019. That brand will. I
sort of forgot about these things over the course of the COVID years, and I totally forgot that the other day. I said Six Senses is part of IHG, right?
It absolutely is at the upper luxury end, but with sustainability and wellness as their core DNA more than 20 years ago, before those two pillars became important to people's everyday lives. And they really have led the way. Really proud to say that Six Senses will double in size And we will also open a Six Senses in Rome at the same time as the Intercontinental.
That's interesting. They're opening up Six Senses in urban environments now. Yeah.
We absolutely are bringing that focus on wellness and that one-to-one approach to helping people achieve their wellness goals and the upper luxury experience and sustainable construction and environment to urban locations, Rome followed by London.
So there you got an urban thing. Well, hey, if Amman can do it in New York, you guys can do it in those places as well. And it's great to see that you're doing it with Six Senses. We go out to about 110,000 travel advisors, many of whom are here. They watch these things. Anything else you want to say to them about Intercontinental and region?
Well, I think first of all to say a massive thanks to them, and I think I said this to you last year actually when we all started travelling again. But thanks for the support and the loyalty. We've relaunched IHG One Rewards this year as well, and just really grateful for your viewers for when they come and stay with us and the business they give us.
Excellent. Now, Jane, anything else you want to say?
Again, a thanks and just a reiteration of our commitment to responsible business. Our corporate reputation of IHG is incredibly important to us, and we want to maintain the two-way open relationship we have with the travel agency community. We're open to feedback of all kinds and hope that each year at ILTM is not the only time we have a chance to speak to them.
And absolutely, and I know you're out speaking to them all the time because the last time we saw each other, we were at a host agency down in the Bahamas, and we that's what you said. Oh, we're going to all be of course, we're always at ILTM. And then the next thing I know, I see you guys in hard hats coming out of the Carlton, and I'm like, where were you? Okay, I get it, because every year I actually make it a point to go down and take my classic shot of the Carlton in its state. Last year I stayed right behind the Carlton, and someday I may stay in the Carlton. It's going to be fine one of these years, because I started out at this show when my first place almost 15-20 years ago. That was my first hotel here, and you was looking like you're doing an amazing job. Everybody said this hotel is iconic, and it really represents. It's kind of one of your, I would say, your flagship. I mean, if nothing else. So thank you both for spending some time with me, telling me all the wonderful things about IHG. And if you want to get more information, it's just ihg.com, is that? Thank you so much. And again, I'm James Shillinglaw, and we're here at ILTM once again, and this is Insider Travel Report.